Morning, Lady Mays, or evening, I should say. How are you? Sorry, I'm just trying to get stuff done. I'm going to turn on the camera here shortly. Oh, I need the music. All right, let's get this show on the road. I think you guys have had enough of staring at the starting soon screen. Alrighty, hello everyone. My name is Commissar Hecht, and welcome to another edition. Oh, let me actually put my headphones. Hello and welcome for another edition. For another edition of actually supporter gifts. Supporter gifts. We are currently we are currently building a chimera, and we are following the box art of said chimera. So it's this lovely bird right here. This one, following the box art of that. Yeah, if you could just kind of zoom in. So we're doing the head and the fur and the feathers today. And the teeth. You got to do the teeth. Lady Mays, hopefully I just wanted to say hi and say hi and stop by and all that stuff. I do appreciate you dropping some emojis in the chat. Means the world to me. And it is almost St. Patty's Day, so if you are Irish, happy St. Patty's Day. And if you are practicing, if you are Irish and practicing, let me just put it to you like that. So I hope everyone is having a good day. Oh, I guess the camera's facing. Yeah. Alright, so what do we want to do with this blue? Hold on, let me just put this on here. Oh, was that uncorked the entire time? Oh, nuts. Oh, god damn it. Well, yeah. Christ. Oh, do we have another Nagaroth purple? Ooh, that is upsetting. I did not think that was uncorked. Ah. I'll pour one out in chat, folks. That was a mistake. Xeris. I don't think we have another Nagaroth. Ah, nuts. Gene Stealer. Oh, no, McCrag. Oh, Demonette. Damn. Son of a bitch. Oh, nuts. Well, we are going to do some surgery. You guys are actually going to see me try and resurrect a dried dead color. Alright, man, that's the first time that's happened in a hot minute. Well, let's rock and roll. Let's get some Lyman's Medium going. Oh, that one's this one, I feel. No, we got some color going. So now we just need a bunch of this, and we just stir. I won't need to water it. That's a certainty. Damn. Ah, that was a that was a very expensive mistake. Could have been very expensive mistake. Whew. Luckily, we got it going. Nope, nope, that's over there. Good thing I know how to resurrect a paint. And good thing I discovered it now when I was as I was painting, because it's in a few more weeks it would have been non-savable. We're still gonna have to. It's still gonna be a little chunky, but the good news is that we got most of it. Oh yeah, there's a giant film. Good news is we recovered it. All right, now I'm gonna go wash this file before it gets really gunky. Oh, well, I should probably put some of the old pieces back in there. That way it maintains its pigment. All right, all right. Well, we managed to resurrect Nagaroth Knight, which is good. Whoo wee! I'll be right back. Damn, that could have been catastrophic. All right, let's get this going. Ooh. Thank God for this little file. This little file just resurrected an entire paint pot. Well, along with me actually putting in the work, but still, that's impressive. Alrighty, so now we gotta do some feathers. We gotta do some feathers. And it looks like they're like a tealish color. And the beak's like a yellow brown. So, a teal. We're looking for a teal. We've got Guardian Temple. That's a teal. That's definitely a teal. Um, it's not a teal per se. Let's see. It's a teal with some dark, but I think because of what it is, it should pop out. a little bit more. Oh, and we got to do the teeth for this dude too, and the eyes, and the tongue. Uh, let's do all the heads first, and then we'll decide everything else. Make it right. Yeah, I think we'll do a teal because that's like a very like changey, chaosy kind of a color. All right. Let's do this. Let's listen to some songs while we paint. So if nothing else, if no one's gonna watch, at least I can jam out privately. Oh, motherfucker. Don't tell me you died. Oh, that's upsetting. Alright, well, let's hook it in. Alright, well, damn. We're starting off great. Had to resurrect a paint pot, and now we don't have music. Son of a bitch. Alright, well. Not the first live stream that I've done where I've had to take a few steps back to punt. Alright, I think out of all the teals that I have, we got a Teclis and we got Guardian. I think what we'll do, but then we also have Lothrin. What's that? Sotek? I think we'll do the Temple Guardian, just because I think the Sotek is a darker color, and this is a lighter, but this is more of a lighter blue than anything else, so we'll just chill on that for a little bit. Because, oh yeah, I was going to do the spines like a bone. Um, and then the teeth in the mouth. Let me, before I let me do that. Let me do the feathers because I need to settle on a color first. That one needs a little bit of Laman's medium too. That one needs a little bit of love. Just a wee. It's getting a little chunky. Huh. Let's prep a palette and look to see what we got for an idea. Just an idea. That's a decent teal. Until it fracking matches you. Let's take a look, shall we? Let's see. That's a pretty good teal, if I do say so myself. Maybe a little lighter green, but I mean it's pretty spot on the box art. Yeah, I like that. I like that quite a bit. And there's nothing that's going to stop me from going darker. I mean, this is just a base coat. A light base coat, if that. It's a little watery, but still, I like the way that's turned out. Yeah. Yeah, I like that right proper. That's a proper base coat. is a proper base coat. It does. Yeah, that's a good base coat. That's a good color. Man, didn't even have to struggle with that. That's a decent. And I can go darker with a little bit to do the darker, the more mature feathers. And yeah, or maybe I could do brown for the ear. Just to symbolize that it's an actual ear. Although owl, hold on. Now I gotta see great horned owl or owl ears. Owl, horned owl ears. There we go. Horned owl ears. Are called plume corns. That's actually kind of the great horned owl horns are actually tufts, feather tufts called plume corns, used for camouflage, communication, and intimidation, not for hearing. Okay, so what do their actual ears look like? It's like the hole in the hole in the size of their head, right? Yeah, it's a hole in the size of their head. Gotcha. Okay, so what about griffin ears? Let's see what griffin ears. Let's see what they. So it's still they treat it like a feather, but it looks more like bunny or cat ears or dog ears. So what I think I can get away with maybe is have blue on the skins and then little pink in the ear. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Throw a little anatomic correction into it. It'll just be like Yark's ears. We'll throw a little bit of Yark in there. Hey, Space Wolf Skaven and Maddie the Mage. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Commissar. Hello, hello. I know it's late, guys, and I'm sorry to start late, but I was watching Zootopia 2 with my kids on Disney, having a little bit of dad time. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make the guide feathers darker. Hold on, I'm doing a little bit of research while I'm painting. Oh, well, there's start the ticker. I dropped a model. Ah. Okay, let's do our flight feathers darker in color. Flight feathers, or primaries, are frequently darker than the rest of the bird's plumage because they contain higher concentration of melanin pigment that strengthens the feather. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh. Okay, so what a teal flight feathers. look like? Oh, and there is an actual example of teal or iridescent flight feathers. Or not flight feathers, but under feathers. It's called speculum. The speculum or secondary feathers, both uh, sexes of green-winged teal. Oh, a teal is an actual color of bird. I didn't even, sorry, name of a bird. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know there was a proper bird named teal. Well, we are learning stuff together. We most certainly are. How is everybody today? Welcome to a painting live stream with some, what's it called? With some National Geographic. What are we painting today? We are finishing, or hopefully finishing, Eliza's Chaos Chimera. Warriors of Chaos Chimera. That is, well, let me actually, that is what we are. That is what we are painting today. If I can get the damn camera to zoom. Oh, it zooms on my fingers, but not the box. I live it. Ooh, an old world classic. Love it. So we're doing teal. She wanted the purple, the dark purple. So we're doing teal for the feathers. And I was trying to add a little bit of realism to this. And so we are going to we're going to add some darker feathers to the plumage of this bird, of this chaos birdie. And while the head is not that while they're not necessarily our flight feathers on the head, there are certainly some longer feathers on the body, so we will do that. But I didn't know that there was a teal, there's an actual bird named a teal, and there's the green-winged teal, which the wings are green, and then but it's on the secondary feathers. It's not on the actual flight feathers itself. And then there's a blue-winged teal. And there's some really pretty pictures. Hold on, let me show you what I'm looking at of this bird. Hold on. I'm gonna just switch to Chrome real quick. Chrome window. And this is a really pretty. Ah, crap. Some really pretty images of this bird. Now look at that. If I can get to it. See what it says on it. Yeah, look at that. That is a pretty, pretty bird. Ooh, Crakey Burger Photography. I am going to follow. I love photography of birds. But that is a really pretty teal color. And then there's a blue-winged teal. Let me see if we can pull that up. Oh, my lord. That is a pretty bird. Oh, that is pretty. That is some great color and great photography. It's amazing work. It's so gorgeous I want to paint something like that. Yeah, I know. That's really good. All right, okay. Back to painting overlay. But yeah, So yeah, so I've learned something today. I didn't know that there was a bird actually called a teal, and its secondary flight feathers are called speculum. That's really cool. A little bit of real world education going on. I do love a good bird photo. This is just so elegant, you know. And to capture something, first off, to actually get some decent bird photography, you have to have the patience of someone far better than I. Um, Let me tell you, to catch a burb in flight and to have that burb that you caught in flight be any good, that's burb pictures are hard enough as it is, let alone to actually make it look good. And you have to have some pretty decent tech. Ever make a mistake in life? Yeah, we'll paint them birds now. Yeah, that's a good Bob Ross quote right there. That's a great Bob Ross quote. That's a honestly, you know, I don't think I would fashion myself as a Bob Ross person just because yeah, everyone be should aspire to someone. And Bob Ross is someone who I would love to aspire to get people passionate about something, right? But I also know that that man truly was one of a kind. So I would not necessarily want to mimic him per se, um, because imitation is at some point a form of flattery. But if I could, if it would be nice to be in to have someone feel inspired, not out of the idea of I inspired someone and it's like this that kind of vainglory, whatever, but to know that I inspired somebody to do good in the world, um, in a positive fashion. I quoted Bob Ross when painting Celestine's bone pile. I said, "We're going to paint a skull. Let's paint another skull so he has a friend." That's base. I mean, that's 40K in a nutshell. And we're going to paint a little skull. And so he's not lonely. We're going to paint another skull so he has a friend. Yep. And we're going to number this skull 1. And we're going to number this skull 2. And maybe this skull is a servo skull, so we'll give him a little happy bionic so he can float around with all of his other happy friends. Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. And remember, there's no mistakes in life, just an axe to the face. if Bob Ross ever did 40K. I mean, you and the Discord are the reason why I'm working on a Terminator Ancient to make it look more wolfy. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a push. Bob Ross 40K, I made a meme for that. It'll be 40L sooner than later if they advance the timeline any further. Shit, it should be renamed 50K. Because at this point, it's. I think if you read Leviathan, they talk about it being the 42nd millennium. But you know, the whole unreliable narrator, no one knows what calendar actually is. Rabute Gilliman absolutely hates it. Absolutely hates the fact that no one that no one truly understands when what where the what time it is during in the imperial calendar. As a matter of fact, I think he cusses out. I think he actually cusses out Cato Sicarius. 40 liters is the recommended daily volume of needs to be spilled by a corn berserker. I need a blood transfusion. Give me all of it. He's down there at the blood bank giving daily. Just remember, if you don't donate your blood to the blood god, are you really helping people? And by the way, Space Wolf's game, and that is a very, very, very lovely thing to say. That you've kind of got motivated to work on your priests and all that stuff for your Space Wolf army. But I mean, in in general, I as I love Bob Ross, I refuse to compare myself to that man. Mainly because not because I'm trying to be humble, or I wish to portray humility and be humble, but because I know that that man is a very important facet of education, and I refuse to be seen as somebody as a peer to him simply because that man was on a whole nother level. Fun fact, the average human has 4 to 5 liters of blood, so spilling the blood of 8 people equals out to 40. Well, hey, that's Corn's holy number, so you're not wrong. I know of where I speak. But yeah, Bob Ross was a natural treasure. And fun fact, he was in the United States Air Force. Note that that's also the minimum amount for of a Slayer. Now, I don't necessarily know what his job. That's Karn's pre-workout. I don't necessarily know what his job was, but because he never talked about it, I'm pretty sure you could probably get pre-workout. I'm pretty sure you could. And we need to talk about you, Slayer. You haven't been doing enough slaying. It's that's how you torture a corn berserker. You pull him into an office meeting and you have to do a personal performance review. Now, you see here, Karn. You only butchered and maimed 1,000 people. Yeah, you're the betrayer. You need to aim. Corporate wants you to aim higher. Higher. Pump those numbers up for the end of Q1. That's how they tor. That's actually what the butcher's nails do. It doesn't make you a crazed, insane person. It just it does make you a if if Gilliman was a corn champion. No, 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 no. That's what the butcher's nails do. It makes you crazy because you are forced to reenact Office Space every other day. Only instead of a TP, now pretend your opponents are the printer. Only instead of a TPS cover sheet, they're talking about, yeah, did you see the memo about, the skulls that we need today? You got the round ones, but we're looking for square ones too to attach to the report for corn. Because round is great for headstones and armrests. Squares are what we need for the base of the skull throne. Okay? That's what the butcher's nails are doing daily. Also, swing lines. Now look, see your greens. The number of green symbols has dropped well below company average. Also, swing line stapers don't come in red, so you ask yourself how'd they get that red one. I mean, blood for the blood god. I'm pretty sure someone in the props department, in order to make it unique, they made it red. They painted that sucker. Actually, that's not true anymore. They started making red ones after Office Space. No, but I mean before then. I think that was a props department decision because they were like, we can't have this company sue us over this movie, and then the company hit an Uno reverse. They were like, oh fuck, we can make money off of a red stapler. Say less. I don't know the story behind it, but apparently uh, the demand was so high after the movie Swingline added a red version. I mean, it's free marketing, right? So like, uh, I know that movie companies have to use off-brand products or fake brand products unless they pay someone. So what I'm assuming happened was they took a swing line, painted it, removed the branding in order so that they didn't have to pay royalties to swing line to make it, to avoid both a lawsuit because you know how American companies are. They are so happy sometimes. Uh, oh, and you're 15 months in. Or 15 subscribers in, Johnny. I finally saw that alert pop up. But getting back to your Bob Ross comment, I don't know that he started out as an inspiration on air, but there you go. You never know the impact you have on people around you. No, I get it. I get it. But what I'm saying is I refuse, like, unless I have. I mean, I know the hobbying along with your streams helped me break out of my hobby funk. Well, I appreciate it. I really do. But what I was saying earlier is that I love Bob Ross, but I have no delusions of any sort of grandeur, and nor do I wish to consider myself remotely. For sure, the streams are similarly cathartic. Oh, well, I appreciate it. But I have no delusions of grandeur, but I also refuse to um, fashion myself after Bob Ross because, one, the man truly was a cornerstone in people's lives. Um, and I feel that, like, to think of myself in remotely in the same galaxy or vein as that man, minus the Air Force, you know, similarity, right? Um, that is by far, you know, I, I, I don't. It is not me trying to practice false humility, or to be, um, or to throw myself at the feet of humility, or to wear the hair shirt of being humble. It is the fact of the matter of I know where I am, and to compare myself to someone like Bob Ross, who has touched so many people, who has done things even after his death, has done things for a lot of people, healing, mental health, all that stuff, right? Post mortem. I refuse to allow myself any sort of um, I would say, for the lack of a better word, to try and compare myself to a titan like that, to a man like that, a true good soul like that. I feel is tantamount to stolen valor at the, and heresy at the highest, you know accord. Also, see memes in Discord. In the grim darkness of the far future, there are no mistakes, only happy little wars. Yep, 100%. And we're going to make a happy little war. And Gazgul's going to go into Armageddon and kick the ever living crap out of the Imperium for the second time. But yeah, I appreciate that you guys are saying, well, no, my streams have helped and they've made, and you felt some sort of inclusion. I and for that I am doubly blessed and truly grateful, and at no point will I ever disabuse you of your trust. Um, but at the same time, I know that I am not a Bob Ross. Maybe one day, if this channel skyrockets, right, and it gets really big, and I do this full time, and we talk and we paint and we work through our problems together, um, uh, you know, uh, um, maybe then I can say with some comfort about Bob Ross, Commissar, I admire your humility. Do not insult the inspiration you provide to those of us here. It is not stolen valor, or it's not heresy. It may not have the reach of Bob Ross, but it continues to have, and for some of us in your community are inspired by you. Well, I really do appreciate that. That it means a lot. But you guys matter too. Like, um, I, for lack of a better word, you are the Ouroboros to this equation, the infinity loop, as it were. I am here, you are here, and we both help each other, right? The goal is to make sure that there's good in the world, and you guys help me with that uh, and whatnot. So, uh, you're painting a figurine for a stream fan for Discord. Definitely worth something for, uh, but love the humble views. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Inspiration is a feedback loop. It certainly is. It certainly is. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna look gnarly. Oh, I have an idea. Oh, I have an idea. Half feathers, half fur. Oh, this is gonna look gnarly. Yeah. Oh, the design team was definitely on something when they made this model. Oh, the design team was on something. Whether they just looked at it and said, "Yeah, we're going to do this," or whether they just did a giant pile of blow before they designed this model, they definitely were on something. They were on it. I mean, it is Games Workshop. I'm pretty sure the design team did blow at some point. It was the 80s, for Christ's sakes. This model came out in the 80s. I think the Chimera came out in like late 80s, early 90s. So if it wasn't blow, it was probably heroin. All right. Let me. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, but I'm gonna show you guys kind of where I'm going with this. Let me just put this sucker right here. If I can get the camera to frickin' cooperate. Come on. You zoomed in on my knuckle earlier. No problem. And this is what I'm talking about, the half fur and half feathers. So I'm going to make the longer guide feathers darker. I'm going to use a darker teal. And I'll make it cohesive. It'll, yeah. Yeah, and if I can get the head to cooperate, this is what we got so far. Come on. Come on, camera. Work with me, you piece of shit. No, don't focus on my knuckle, please. So that's what we're working with right now. All right, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Okay, back again. Whew. Sorry about that, folks. I couldn't wait any longer. Whew. Ah. Okay. Well, we knew that was gonna fall apart. So put him here. Okay. Then them there. Alright, so that one's gonna have to be teal too. Okay. Oop. Got it. There's gonna be a little of a splash of teal in there. And then see, it's okay, so we're gonna need to blend that bit of teal in. Okay. Which is fine. I mean, we knew we were gonna end up having to do that. Because then this comes like this. Yeah. And then that. Oh, there's guide feathers here, so maybe I won't have to. This comes like that. I'll do some speckling of teal. Make it look like there's feathers that were growing, but then they got plucked. Or not plucked, but rubbed off. I think that's what I'll do. Yeah. This is kind of what I'm looking at. If I can get the damn camera to cooperate. So there's the arm socket. This is the arm. Once I get the arm to actually cooperate with me and be completely... There we go. I just heard it click. Oh, now it's out again. Well, it's gonna look... Come on, zoom in. Focus. Okay, it's gonna look something like this. Right? So I think what I'll do is I'll do some speckling right in here with a little bit of the teal to show like little nublets of feathers. And then do some speckling of teal right in between these two guide feathers right here. And then that should be fine. I think I can get away with that for a little bit. And then what I was talking about the ears is, so it's almost like a feather, like a horned owl's feathers, the tufts, the plumiform, I think that's what it was called while I was looking it up for great horned owls. Hold on. Oh, plumicorns, not plumiforms. Plumicorns. That is the great horned owl, like feather tufts. But if you look at griffin ears, they almost look like German shepherd ears, but in feather form, where they're like triangular. So what I think I'm going to do for that is do the teal, but then have pink inside to symbolize the kind of the flesh. I think that's what I'll do. And it'll just break it up a little bit. maybe like a pinkish, maybe like a Acadian flesh tone. Do it that way. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. We are working at we're having inspiration as it comes, which is kind of funny because that's basically the story of the Chimera. It's inspiration as it comes. Sounds awesome. Ah, thank you. And particularly the yes, in the flow state. And particularly the Chaos Chimera. The Chaos Chimera was made as an inspiration, a mad inspiration from a mad wizard. And if I remember correctly, the lore it was a Imperial College wizard that tried to create the Chimera, and the Chaos Gods were like, "I like the cut of your jib. We're gonna take this now." Pretty sure that's how that came to be. Oh no, oh no, it was so. Allow me to correct myself. Their exact origins are mythical, but they range from mutation of an evil king spawned from the demonic energies of the Warhammer Fantasy, or Garrock, the first Chaos Dragon. But they're tied to the winds of magic. That's what I was screwing up. But it's all right. No worries. Hyper Bagel, welcome to the stream. Damn it, you guys are supposed to blend, not form multiple heads. Back to the drawing board. Honestly, I'm surprised Beastly Chaos. Everything Beastly is chaos is the fault of the Beastman. Not entirely. Yes, the winds of magic are heavily involved with the Beastmen. But chaos is, chaos being chaos. They love being dicks, so chaos gods love to cause problems. All right. What? Me worry? Zeech probably. All according to plan, or was it Zeech, probably? Creed Zeech, definitely. Oh, yeah, yeah. Uskar Creed gives Zeech heartburn. Oh, no, that's the wrong arm. Hello, tree. I say run to the the tunes as it danced around the overflows tree. Some for to see me find, some as I might fill. For I say would part with her, break her to the middle. Thousands, no control soon. So, how was everyone's week? Next week, by this time, uh, next week it'll be my last, probably be my last stream on probably Saturday, maybe Sunday. We might do a stream Monday, but then Tuesday is when, or we might do a stream Monday morning. Actually, no, we won't do a stream Monday morning because I got a pack for CLC, or I have to then double check my pack for CLC. So Sunday night might be my last stream, or will be my last stream. And then Tuesday I'll be there, and then Wednesday we'll start the class. Run to thee, say, oh, just leave thee. Danced around oh, the aloes tree. Make sure you're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed for C. I don't know if it's going to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. It might be angry and ornery, so I can get through it. I'll try and keep updates as while I go through it. I might do like a little video log, just of me doing CLC stuff. Let's see. Just drop by to say hi, and the Emperor protects. Have a good stream. Ah, hi. You're in the garden. Astra Miller, what now? You're in the guard, son. You must be new here. Don't get too preva. Keep on their new gear. And is for the Emperor? After 15 hours. I'll say 15 minutes. That's all the edition. You're have to do it. What now? You're in the God, son. What now? You're the Sergeant. That's what now. Oh, be Sergeant. Astra Millie, what now? You're in the God, son. Ooh, I got an idea. Oh, this is such a good idea. Okay, all right. So there's 3 heads to this chimera, right? I think it'd be kind of cool and a little bit of a nerdy wink and a nod to do red, blue, green. Maybe not necessarily in that order, but blue eyes. Where's that other head? Where's that other head? Where'd he go? 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 Oh, don't tell me I lost it. Oh no no no. It's still here. I didn't put it together. All right, all right, all right. Follow me with this. So, blue eyes for this guy, right? For this head. Green for this head, and then red for this head. Now, the reason why I'm thinking red, blue, green is because that's the primary color cones that most people's eyes break into, right? Red, blue, green, right? I think that's the primary color for most cones, for most eye cones. Hold on. No, 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 no. We're going to snooze this. We're going to snooze that ad. Now I got to do some primary eye color cones. Yeah, human relies on long, medium, and short. So red, blue, green. Ah, I love it. I love it. I love it. So what about animal? Most animals are dichromats: red, yellow, blue, yellow, green, blue. Well, oh, ooh, crap. Okay, so I need to change that because hold on. Oh, okay. So birds are tetrachromatic. Most mammals are dichromatic. So it would be so the and lizards. Okay, so the color cones. All right, now that we're going. Tetrachromatic is a condition where it possesses four types of cones rather than the standard red, blue, green. The fourth cone is a yellow green. Okay. So we should do yellow green for the lizard, red for the no, red for the yeah, yellow green for the lizard, red for the bird, and then blue for the beastie thing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's coming together. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. I love it when when my tism kicks in, and I'm channeling the tisms. I'm so happy I'm doing these supporter gifts, mainly because everyone deserves it, but I also am happy because it's like I get to experiment. And I didn't think I was going to enjoy the experimentation as much, but yeah, yeah, I am enjoying it greatly. I was worried I was going to struggle. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'll probably struggle with the solitaire. The solitaire is going to be a challenge in and of itself, but I am enjoying the models that I am painting. Not, don't get me wrong. I love painting guardsmen, and I love painting tanks, and I love painting all that kind of stuff. But this definitely was like this definitely has like stretched my brain a little bit, making me work. son. What now? Beg your pardon. That's really what now? You're in the guard, son. This is that inspiration loop that we were talking about earlier. Jesus. Let's see. Let's see. Jesus. Okay. Now that we got all the feathers, now we're going to need to do now we're going to do the beak, and I think I said we were going to do a yellow, but I wanted like a dingy yellow. Almost like a brownish yellow. Do we have a brownish yellow? Kind of a mustard color. Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna do a golden yellow or Avalon Sunset, and then mix it with a brown. Maybe maybe like a graveyard earth. Oh. Minneapolis. Or I could do a Doom Bull, yellow and a Doom Bull. See what that looks like. Minneapolis. Do you have like a Tau light ochre? I don't, unfortunately. I like it a little bit. Like, uh, what do you guys think? If it actually wants to zoom in, almost like a Skeksis. Yeah, that's pretty nice. So that was a mix of the old golden yellow and Doombull brown. I like it. Oh, good, good, good. I'm glad. I'm glad my. I'm glad it. I'm glad it worked out. I had two Skeksis for this stream. Mmm, Skeksis. It makes a nice gradient. Gelfling, Gelfling, kill the Gelfling. It makes a nice gradient too, slightly darker at the end of the beak. Yeah, I what I think I'm gonna do is do the highlights in the dark in the sunburst yellow, and then push down to the brown. Man, now I have to go through my older binge movie, Dark Labyrinth, Willow, Neverending Story. Love that era of films. Um, I mean, there's some decent new films that I would also recommend. But yeah, if you're looking for that like comfort soul food kitschiness, practical effects style, all that stuff, Phil Tippett, puppeteering. Yeah, those are the movies you want. Jim Henson, Phil Tippett style puppeteering. Farewell, farewell, you. Oh, my comfort movie is Lord of the Rings. Have you seen Mad God? No, I have not. I'm still need to see. Um, I still need to see. Um, the new Dracula with uh, uh, Christoph. I forget his last name. Played Hans Lauda in Inglorious Bastards. Um, I want to say it's Christoph Waltz, but I could be wrong. I want to see that one. I want to see The Bride with Christian Bale, and I forget the actress's name, and I feel bad because the actress I think is amazing. Is it Waltz? Okay, that's what I thought. And then I need to see uh, um, Troy. I need to. Oh, sorry, the Odyssey. I need to see that one. That's on my to do list. Mad God is Phil Tippett's labor of love. It was decades in the making. He actually gave up on the project because he couldn't get it financed modern industry, but a bunch of interns were working for him and they've done demo reels that started crowdfunding. It's intensely weird, but it's also an amazing stop motion animation. There was another one that was like that. It was like a um similar line of movie, had a bunch of like weird special effects and all that stuff. I think it was a Don Quixote movie. I forget what it was because I remember learning about it in, oddly enough, in American, or in my writing class for literature. Um, and it was a Don Quixote movie done by, I want to say, a Spanish director that couldn't get off the ground. The man who killed Don Quixote. Yeah, 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 yeah. And they showed parts of it, like the uncut B reel and all that stuff, and it was a really interesting piece of cinematography and all that stuff. It's a Terry Gilliam film. Well, I figured you would know. You have a very, very. It took him what, almost 30 years to make? Yeah, I figured you would have had an idea because um, out of all the cinematography aficionados, you would know. Terry Gilliam is one of my favorite, absolutely favorite directors. I figured that would be in like direct vein of your repertoire. Yeah, man, the trailer for Mad God is so trippy. I'm sold. Well, hey, glad I could expand your mind without mind altering drugs, obviously. I will say Johnny Zed has some fantastic movie recommendations, but be prepared for some really, really trippy movies. All right, you just have to like almost let yourself go through the creative process of watching it in order to enjoy it. If you can't do that, Don't worry about it. Um, uh, you should still be able to at least enjoy some of it. Um, uh, eclectic would be the word I would use. Any Terry Gilliam movie is worth seeing through. So, though some of them are really out there. Look up Tideland sometimes. See, that's another one I keep hearing. Is like you gotta be on some sort of you know to truly enjoy it. You have to be on a drug trip. I can't do that. That is not. It's not that easy to watch. I don't know. Ooh, I don't know. Because I know Terry Gilliam loves touching third rails a lot. Yeah, I agree. Definitely not. But then again, he was a product. He was a product. And I don't do drugs either. I have expensive enough. Thanks. I mean, watching a Terry Gilliam film is like being on drugs sometimes. You're not wrong. I know I'm not wrong. And I remember one of my friends explaining one of a friend of mine explaining my taste in movies to someone. That my collection is where start where most people end. And while that's not entirely true, I do love some weird and obscure stuff. Well, here's the thing. Like, and I'm probably gonna catch some heat for this, in some way or form. The cinema, everyone loves a good story, but if this, but the purpose of, particularly movies, is to push creative boundaries and the norm sometimes. Um, does that mean it's okay every time? No. Does that mean that you get some weird avant-garde, uh, trash that um, pushes norms way too hard, way too fast, and uh, instead of engaging the audience intellectually, it's for lack of a better word, shock. It's a shock flick. Yeah, 100%. Um, uh, but I think the purpose of any sort of entertainment is to engage the audience in asking questions. Um, uh, whether through consciously or subconsciously looking at, consuming the media. Um, and if you can do that and have like the quote unquote honest conversation between the director through the audience and all that stuff, great. Um, but yeah, there's definitely been some uh, weird um, some weird deconstructionist films that I think don't work because the director slash writer just was went the wrong way uh, uh, at 100 miles an hour. And that's not to say that mainstream movies don't do that either. But I think that when you talk about some creative license stuff, there's definitely been. Oh, absolutely. Some movies are designed to only be entertaining. Some movies are designed to only be artistic. I find the best ones are crossover true, but that doesn't mean that you can't have really good films on either side of the fence. Sometimes you want a good burger, and sometimes you want a filet mignon, and sometimes you want a good ribeye on the grill. That's nice as a middle choice. Facts, facts. Yeah. Um, you know, um, actually, a really good director. Say what you want about Tony Gilroy, um, but man, the fact that he just nailed Andor, and I keep on going back to Andor, but the fact that he just nailed Andor in the limited amount of time that he had was fan fucking tastic. And the guy hates Star Wars. He's not a Star Wars fan. And I think that's what in some very limited cases you shouldn't want a Star Wars fan. You don't want the Star Wars fanboy. Gentlemen, I'm going to turn in for the night. I got to work in a few hours. Hopefully, I'll catch the next stream. Well, I will be streaming tomorrow night. I really just did want to like plug away and give you guys a good stream just because next month is whatnot. But good night, and I hope you have a good day. Sidebar, you've heard the buzz. It looks like Nathan Fillion is getting the old Firefly cast. Um, Although he's not starring a podcast. Yeah, I know. My worry with Firefly is that because Alan Tudyk is in the cast, it has to be before the movie Serenity, unless it's going to be like a bunch of like shots of him beforehand. Um, that's what I'm trying. That's don't f this up. Yeah, like I said, I am holding judgment only because I think I know where they're going with it. Not a reboot, but like a continuation of the series in some capacity. But then again, they're a lot older now, so I, yeah, it's puzzling a lot. Yeah, that's what's puzzling a lot of people. Nathan said that he's not doing whatever with this without Alan. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Wash is dead. Like, canonically, he died in Serenity. Like, there's no, you don't come back from that. You don't come back from a Reaper harpoon in your gut or torso, I would say. Well, I mean, it went from gut to it went from torso to gut. Like, you don't come back from that. Um, so I don't know. And a lot of the cast, and I'm not trying to say ageist. I'm not trying to be sexist or ageist or anything like that. But a lot of the cast looks older, lot older. I mean, Nathan Fillion didn't age too much, but Julie State did. Jewel State did, or Straight. Uh, uh, um, uh, Kaylee, the actress who played Kaylee. Inara aged. The actress who played Inara. Um, yeah, and Ron Glass is sadly not around. No, is no longer around. Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, hell, Simon aged. Simon aged. I think the only one that really hasn't aged is Nathan. Yeah, it doesn't look like Kaylee anymore. Yeah, I know. That's the problem. Like, don't get me wrong. I love that they're getting the old cast back together. She's lost a lot of the curves. Yeah, in her face. Um, Again, I'm not trying to be sexist or anything. It just, age happens. Yeah, I don't know what they're planning. I really don't. I'm excited for it, but if it's a reboot, it's gonna sit a little wrong with me. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. All right, sorry. I ended up stuck alone in an elevator with her for 10 floors at a con and managed to not make a complete idiot of myself. Decided to smile and nod and stare at the elevator floor for the rest of the day. Was the best plan, though my brain was desperately trying to find something clever to say. Yeah, she honestly, she's a very lovely person. We ran into Xander from Buffy the Vampire Slayer at one of the conventions that me and Dave went to. He was going from panel to panel, and Dave just wanted to have a picture with him. And he was running, I think, a little bit behind, and he was just like, and Dave just kind of ran into him, and he's like, "Oh my God!" And he's like, and Xander was like, "Oh hey," you know. It was one of those ones where he had a minder with him, and he's like, "Sir, we got to get going." And Xander was just the actor, I forget his name. He was just like, "Hey, do you want something?" And the minder obviously looked a little pissed. And Dave was just like, "Well, I really just wanted to ask you a question at the last panel, but I know you're busy. Can I just get a quick picture with you?" And he's like, "Absolutely." much to the minder's chagrin. Um, uh, but yeah, it was really cool. Um, uh, but yeah, and then of course I met, you know, Ian McGregor, Ray Parks, Liam Neeson's a very tall man. I mean, still to this day he's tall. Um, but yeah, I was thinking about it as I was going to the bathroom. I know, weird bathroom thoughts. If they were to reboot the entire cast and do some of the stories of Firefly, some of the seasons that they weren't able to do because of funding, or finish, um, she got gifted a lot of free drinks. I bet. A, maybe now that I'm thinking about it, if they were to go back and do the full story, they could potentially do imaging capture of their faces and just superimpose um, their younger faces on them. I don't know how expensive or doable that is. I know they did it for Tarkin when they did Rogue One, and that was a huge thing. Uh, Garrett Wang, Harry Kim. Oh, okay. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they'd pull it off. If they were to do Firefly, I don't know how they would pull it off. He looked like a martial arts movie hero, and he was energetic. Oh, I bet. I bet. You probably get some kind of pump, right? Hold on, I'm just seeing. I'm just seeing if Whedon. Yeah. So far, no one has said anything about Whedon doing this reboot either. And I know Whedon's got his own problems. Oh man, I wish I was there for that. See, born too late to really enjoy the more finer points of Khan going. Uh, Whedon is apparently not attached to the project, whatever it is. Yeah, and then that's what I was looking up too. I know Whedon is slightly problematic, um, and I say that with the large asterisks, obviously. Uh, um, Apparently, he has come out. A lot of people have said that he is pretty vicious on set. So I can foresee a lot of actors slash actresses not wanting to work with him. Um, so who knows? So you mentioned using CGI to do the young versions of the actors. Imagine this. I just don't know how feasible it is. Firefly, the missing episodes. Again, I get it. I mean, they did it. They did it for Luke, in the Mandalorian. I mean, Luke Skywalker did reprise his role. Mark Hamill did reprise his role as Luke Skywalker. Um, as the young Luke, they superimposed his face on his face. So I know they can do it. I just don't know. But they have to get a new Shepherd book. Yeah, but see, that's the rub, right? The only reason why Rogue One was allowed to do Peter Cushing is because they talked to the Cushing estate, and the Cushing estate said, "We are okay with this style of homage." And I think the Cushing estate had basically drafted up a legal contract that said you are allowed to do it for these specific scenes at this specific like point in time, and you cannot do anything any further, right? You know what I mean? Um, so the person who played Shepherd Book, they'd have to do something very similar to that. Um, and then, of course, you have to find somebody that can match Shepherd Book's mannerisms, the way he talks, and all that stuff. Didn't the Cushing estate regret it afterwards? Oh, I think they did. I think the Cushing estate came out with a statement about that. Or am I conflating that with another CGI-ism? Hold on. No, no, no. Let me. Cushing Estate, Rogue One. Over. So this is back in December 2005 that the judges just finally set it out. Liz. A legal battle over Peter Cushing's CGI likeness in Rogue One was initiated by Tyburn Film Productions, alleging that they held the rights to control his image. While Disney paid the Cushing estate roughly £28,000 for the authorization, a lawsuit claimed that this was unauthorized. However, in December 25, the judges. So Tyburn used his likeness. Um, Regret. No. Did not express public regret. However, his likeness is in a long running battle for production. So it was an argument between production companies, Lucasfilm versus Tyburn Film Productions. Um, but yeah, there was no regret. There might have been somebody else that that you're thinking of. Yeah, 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 yeah. Claimed his likeness. Yeah, that's the other thing. God, being a movie star must be exhausting. Because you have to basically sign. I mean, it's like the being in the military. You sign your life away, and then years down the line, someone has an issue with what you've done. Fuck. Except unlike the military, where you sign your life away and you know what you're potentially getting into. Um, when you're dead, someone comes up and is like, "Hey, you didn't serve these last 2 years. We're gonna dig up your corpse and make you serve again." Fuck. 28,000 pounds is a lot for CGI. That's a princely sum for some people, or not a princely sum, but that's a pretty good sum for just a a handful of scenes and a few words. I mean, you could make it a very meta movie about digging up Peter's corpse and making for it to be used in a movie. Turn it into some kind of zombie horror thing. Oh God, I think they've done that already. But it's like a cheesy horror slash film for some horror film like Friday Night Fright, competition. I think someone's already done that. Not saying that it's not a good idea, but I think someone's already done that. We're gonna do a little bit of just to add some unworldly color to it. But yeah, I don't know how feasible it would be to do what I had suggested, which is to superimpose their younger faces on themselves. I don't know how expensive that would be. I don't know what the logistics would look like with that. But I would think that if they were going to do some sort of missing episodes reboot, that would be on the table at some point. Well, I did know Peter Cushing played Dr. Van Helsing, if I remember correctly, or it was Christopher Lee was Dr. Van Helsing and Peter Cushing played as Dracula. No, no, I think it was the other way around. I think it was Christopher Lee was Van Helsing, and then or sorry, Cushing was Van Helsing, Christopher Lee was Dracula. Yeah, that's what I couldn't remember. For some reason, I had it the other way around. I got mixed up. He was also Doctor Frankenstein, Lee's version of the monster, if I remember correctly. Oh, okay. All right. I did the mouth. It'll zoom in. Come on. Come on. Zoom in. Focus. Look up the Legend of the Seven Gold Vampires. Was that his first debut as Van Helsing? I still don't know what I want to do with this middle distance between the feathers and the beak. But I think I did pretty well. I could do the Nagaroth purple for the skin, just to break it up a little bit, but at the same time, I also like the inner flesh of the ear that I did and the tongue. Or I just make it all the way blue except for the eyes. I don't know. I'm debating. I am having thoughts. I just don't know what I want to do with it. I don't know. What do we say? What do we say, folks? What should we do for this middle distance? Or do we just keep it black? We could do that. Do we do Nagaroth purple just because it's the primarily most of the body? Do we do like this weird purplish pink that I did? Honestly, it looks great as is. Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. And then just do the blue green for the eyes. But I don't want to fuck it up either. I'm a little bit paralyzed because I have to decide. I want to decide on it, but I think I'll send a picture and figure out what what Miss Eliza wants, just so that way we're pressing. Um, Here we're gonna put the heads together. Honestly, that's looking pretty good. I'm not gonna even lie. Now I've got the heads together. I think it's I think it's kind of difficult. Come on, zoom in. You gonna have to manually go into the controls. So as you can see, this is kind of what it's looking like. Like I said, I just don't know what I want to do with with the the black around the eyes and near the beak. But you can kind of see the vision that we've got so far. Oh, shit. I mean, it looks good. I just don't. It's like that. It's like that. Am I gonna ruin what I've got so far with another brush stroke? It's that kind of a dilemma. Then of course you add this. I don't know. Opinion, like I think I'm gonna need it. I'd leave it as is. Okay. Leave it for now. Do the third head. See how it works as a whole. Yeah. Should probably get on that. Probably should get on that. Okay, now that one has gray fur. Don't know how I'm gonna pull that one off. It's like grayish purple. As you can tell. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. It's a grayish purple. Should I do maybe like a dawnstone? It's a darker gray, and then mix some purple in there, or should I do like a? Because I did the teal for the feathers without too much purple. Um, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one. This one's a tough one. I can do a grayish purple, and let's just be done with it. But I also want it to be somewhat different. What are we thinking? Again, I gotta get it close to the box art. But what are we thinking? Oh my lord, I'm a little tired. That's the other problem is that I'm starting to feel exhaustion. Or maybe I do a light gray and a dark gray, and then maybe some purple in between, like the Carroburg. I could probably do that, like a little wash of Carroburg, just to get that weird purpley tint to it. Ugh. I don't know. It's bugging me because like it's grayish but I also want it to kind of be brownish because it'll set itself apart. Damn. Oh, what do I want this head to look like? Well, let's just put it together for right now. Hem and haw over it as much as we want then. Hey, Russ. How you getting on? I saw you and Frere flying earlier in squadrons. We're making a Chaos Chimera for one of the supporter gifts. I actually got to get back into flying in squadrons. It just sucks that the game is not supported by EA anymore. Hit me up anytime. I would love to. Um, I just wish they would come out with more maps and shit. Um, and do some just a little bit more tightening and balancing, and more fighters. To be quite honest, it it really should be like X-Wing Alliance, where you just have a bevy of fighters to choose from. It would be awesome to do storyline as co-op. Yeah, that'd be fun too. You know, fucking something. And scale up the battles for co-op flights. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like there was this thing called Flight Simulator in X-Men Alliance. If you played it or didn't play it, and you could have up to 16 ships go up against each other in battle. And what me and my brother used to do is we used to have uh, four capital ships and then four sets of fighters each going up against each other. So you had your Mon Calamari war, you had your Imperial Star Destroyers, and maybe an interdictor and a dreadnought versus a Mon Cal ship, Nebulon B, and then a lighter Mon Cal cruiser or a bunch of frigates, or sorry, a bunch of corvettes. Uh, that was fun. That was really fun, and it was all computer. It was you against the computer, but it was still a fun, chaotic, hectic battle. And what you would do to make it feel more Star Warsy is you had the capital ships up in front because they would start closer to the enemy capital ships, and then you would have the fighters dogfighting in the middle of those capital ships and whatnot. And oh my god, it was so fun! Oh my lord, it was so fun. All right. I do think I'm going to call it soon just because I feel myself drifting. And I didn't really sleep well last night. I slept like crap. Um, I don't know why. I think that's what's stumping me even more. Is like, why do I feel like such garbage? Basura, as my staff sergeant would say. Uh, this Chimera is a supporter gift. Ah, I see. And then this guy goes right. If I can get the. Okay, all right. It's one of the supporter gifts. Miss Eliza Crown. She's on the Discord occasionally. Good friend, good supporter. Um, so I'm all for it. With a Chaos Champion on top? No, this one's just the wild feral. You're thinking of the Manticore, I believe. But this one's just the Chaos Chimera. Yeah, Manticore has the Chaos Champion option on it. All right. So now that we've got that going, let's put these three heads on and see what we're looking. See how we're cooking. One. Ah, oh no, that's tough. Has Bree been helping with this one? No, no, no. This one's just a supporter gift. Bree hasn't been painting recently. She should. I should get her back into it. But I'll do it after I come back from CLC, which is in roughly a week. A week and some change. I just don't know what I want to do with the color for this head. Cause it's like a gray. The color for this guy's head, this one right here particularly, is like a gray, but it's got purple and bluish undertones. And I want to keep it as close to the box art as possible, but throw my own spin on it too. Oh, the problem is I don't know how to do this. Oh, and I keep yawning. That's the other issue. Is I keep yawning, which means I am tired, which means I shouldn't be making any really big decisions design wise. Um, oh man, that's irritating. I don't know what I want to do. I've been just waiting on a use the same tones for shadows and depths, then dry brush gray if you want a light tint for color variation. Okay. I'm just waiting for the point for my printer to finish up before I call on it myself. Earlier, I would have just let it run, but I had a print go bad, and I ended up having to buy a new printer because mine ended up looking like it had been infected by some sort of alien blob. Yeah, yeah. Someone had told me that their printer had suffered the same kind of catastrophic failure, um, where their printer just, I think it was the filament dispenser or whatnot, just overheated. Fire red for the head. Yeah, I could. But Eliza wants me to stick kind of close to the original box. So I've got some questions for her for like some of the design choices that I'm doing right now. But I think I'm following it pretty good to the letter of the T. But yeah, what was I going to say? Someone had their filament spool or whatever the case was just like melt down in there in while they were developing a project. So yeah, that may have been me a while back. That may have been me a while back. This okay. Oh, gotcha. Um. Oh God, it's gonna bug me. Nope, I can't think of it. Okay. I know we've been only streaming for 3 hours, but I think I'm gonna end it here because I don't want to press creativity. If I'm kind of hemming and hawing over what I'm gonna do for this particular model. So I think I'm gonna I think call it, dude. Yeah. Get some sleep, rest up. Yeah. I'm sorry, Russ, that you're just showing up as soon as I'm calling it. But I also didn't want to like force creativity. Um, but anyway, thank you for showing up at least for a little bit. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. My name is Commissar Hecht. I'll see you guys in the next episode after I figure out what I'm going to do with this head to make it somewhat look like the box set. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Tired decision making is really good decision making. A fucking facts. But anyway, thank you all for watching. My name is Commissar Hecht. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Um, and I hope everyone has a good night. Bye bye.